Well, that first part went fast, didn't it? I got through 2 verses. This is Genesis chapter 1, verse 3, continuing on with our reading of Hebrew and my explaining it to you. Vayomer Elohim Yehi Or Vayhi Or. This is Vayomer Elohim. If you memorize just this part, Vayomer Elohim, you have 4% of biblical Hebrew memorized already. Isn't that nice? Yehi Or Vayhi Or. God said, Vayomer Elohim, and God said, let there be light, Yehi Or, and there was light, Vayhi Or. And I'll get up to this other part here. Yeah, it said there was light. I'm trying to adjust this with the camera, so it's a little tricky. Okay. Vaya'as Elohim et ha'or ki tov. And God saw the light. Vayar Elohim. God saw the light et ha'or. That it was good. Ki tov is that it was good. Then this last verse that I'm going to share with you, hopefully I can fit it into the camera here. Vayavdel Elohim ben ha'or uvein ha'choshech. And God divided. Vayavdel is dividing, separating. Vayavdel Elohim. Elohim is the divine name for God, the divine word for God. Ben ha'or. He divided the light, bein ha'or, from uvein ha'choshech, from the darkness. Let me see if I can zoom out, and I'll see if, zoom out. I don't know if this is big enough for you to see on screen or not. I'll try to, we'll go all the way through the verses again. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens, the hashamayim, and the earth, ve'et haaretz. Ve'haaretz haita tohu vavohu v'hoshech al pnei tehom. And the earth was in chaos. It was tohu vavohu. It was without form and void. And darkness, v'hoshech, was upon all the surface of the deep. Was al pnei, this is upon, al pnei tehom, the deep. V'ruach Elohim merach hefet al pnei hamayim. And the Spirit of God hovered over the waters. This merach hefet, the ruach Elohim. Ruach is an interesting word because it's the word for wind, breath, air, spirit, so on and so forth. So this is why I say it's not creation ex nihilo, because wind is not immaterial. It's not nothing. It is something. It is the movement of substance that is too small for us to see. And then, let me see if I can get the rest of this up here. Vayomer Elohim Yehi Or Vayhi Or. And God said, let there be light. Yehi Or Vayhi Or. And there was light. Vayar Elohim et ha'or ki tov. And God saw the light, that it was good. Ki tov is good. Vayavdel. Now here's where we get God separating the darkness from the night. Let me see if I can put that up in the middle there. Vayavdel Elohim bein ha'or uvein ha'choshech. So God separates, He divides the light from the darkness. And this light, now see, this isn't the sunlight like we saw in the sunrise this morning. This isn't the sunlight at all. This is a different type of light because the sun hasn't even been created yet. Now, what I want to do is I want to explain some ideas on this part right here, where this part right here, yes. V'ruach Elohim merach hefet al pnei hamayim. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. This is the second part of Genesis chapter 1, verse 2. I want to share some ideas with you on this Hebrew construction that is very interesting. Now, I've got my trusty copy of Rashi, the Jewish commentator, the foremost Jewish commentator that the Jews have used in this Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Ve'ha'aretz haita tohu vavohu v'hoshech al pnei tahom v'ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei hamayim. On this idea of the Spirit of God hovering over the waters, Rashi says that the breath of God was hovering. He translates the word ruach as breath rather than spirit or wind, because it can mean many things like that. This is the other value of studying Hebrew, is to see the multisense modality of the text, so to speak. There are some words that have several different meanings and nuances, and that's the joy of studying Hebrew. But Rashi says this is the Kisei HaKavod. And what the Kisei HaKavod is it is the throne of glory that was standing in the air and hovering. It wasn't the Spirit or the breath of God. It was the throne of glory that was standing in the air and hovering over the surface of the water. And it was by the breath of the mouth of the Holy One, blessed be He, that was supporting the throne. And by His statement, it supports the throne like a dove that hovers over the nest. So this is the value of studying. He says here in the Chagiga, in the Midrash Tehillim, it says the breath or the wind does not hover, the ruach. It does not hover. The verse means that the throne of glory hovered by means of the breath of God. This is the value of studying the Jewish commentators when we learn Hebrew. That's why I'm going to share them with you. All these years I've been reading this English translation of Genesis. It never dawned on me at all that this could be the throne of glory. Now, once you're exposed to this concept, this throne of glory, it hits you right in the face. You go, of course, yes, this is the throne of God. This is the goal of the mystic visionaries, is to behold this throne. And I have some beautiful things I want to share with you more on this throne. Now, William Hamblin and David Rolfe Seeley, in their book Solomon's Temple, Myth and History, brand new book, just out last year, 2007, from Thames and Hudson. They're talking about the Temple of Solomon. It's a sumptuously, lavishly illustrated text. I would highly recommend you get this book. They're talking about the Ark of the Covenant. And the golden lid of the ark was called the mercy seat, the Kafaret. And it represented the throne of God. It was decorated at each end with a gold cherub, the winged angelic guardians of the Lord. In the Bible, the cherubim are found only in the presence of the Lord in the temple, in heaven, or in Eden. The Lord is often described as enthroned upon the cherubim. This is very interesting. Psalm 80, verse 1, 99, verse 1, Isaiah 37, 16. So the cherubim on the Ark of the Covenant that the high priest went into to see only on the Day of Atonement is the throne of God also, the earthly counterpart, the symbol for the throne of God at the creation. This is the Ruach Elohim merachefet al pnei tahom. The Spirit of God supporting the hovering throne, as Rashi would have it. Very interesting. Now, although Israel was forbidden to make an image of God, the ark represented the throne of God, and hence the presence of God. So we have the ark and the cherubim. And he shows, these gentlemen show on page 70, did I even give you the page number on that? I bet I can't even find it now. Anyway, on page 70 and so forth, they're talking about Solomon ibn Gabirul. He died about 1058. He was from Andalusia in Spain. He often used temple-related themes in his religious works. And his big religious work was the Kingdom's Crown, the Keter Malkut.